through the experiences I've had. Some days I'm okay, and then the next day something triggers it off, and I'm back to normal, back to square one again.
5 days later, that Toyota was abandoned on a farmer's field in Bishop's Itchington in Leamington Spa, and it's that Toyota that really is one of the key elements in this. You need to find where it was.
I do, yes. This is an elegant, stylish car that enthusiasts would notice, and I feel sure that someone somewhere has seen that car during the time that it was missing.
K789 PKM, and it's been missing from Saturday the 13th of February, from Northampton to the 22nd of February when it was rediscovered. We've got an artist's impression of one of the guys, the chap who bought petrol at the garage. Describe what you know of him.
Yes, he is 5 feet 10 inches to 6 feet tall. He's of stocky build and has dark hair. He's 25 to 30 years. And again, if anyone feels that they know this man, then I would ask that they contact us urgently.
Now, you bought something equivalent with you of what was stolen, much of it absolutely useless to the robbers. These are printed circuit boards, but they're only applicable to one type of machine, I think.
That is correct. They are totally useless to anyone else, and I feel sure again that someone may find these abandoned somewhere. Whether it's one or more than one, please let us know.
OK, so if you've seen PCBs, printed circuit boards, and they're all fairly chunky ones, for heaven's sake, please let us know or call your local police. Some of the things that were stolen, though, could be resold. Now, describe those to them, the particularly unique ones.
Yes, there's about 90 in total of the fax machines, 2 of which are prototypes, and we have the serial numbers of all these. So again, if someone has recently purchased, perhaps at a reduced price, please get in touch with us. We can compare it with our serial numbers. OK,
have you seen fax machines like these, SF505 or SF500? Because if you have, the only thing they could have come from is this robbery. The number here in the studio is 081 811 8181, or you can call the police direct in Stafford on 0785 234 938. That's 0785, the code for Stafford, 234 938.
Well, now, more appeals for your help on cases all over the country. At the incident desk, as usual, are Superintendent David Hatcher and Detective Constable Jackie Hames.
Sexual attacks on women by complete strangers are thankfully very rare, but nonetheless, when they do happen, as in our next case, the ordeal can destroy part of a person's life. This case is no exception, and though the victim appears in our reconstruction, she's asked us not to use her real name. The events took place in Rochdale, Lancashire.
I started running about 15 years ago after I'd had pleurisy. Having 2 children, I didn't think that I'd really, be that good at running. But I've won quite a lot of trophies, and for my age group, I'm probably ranked about 5th in the country for distance running.
Oh, heck, that was a bit rubbish.
At the Rochdale Golf Club, 2 members were taking part in a ladies' competition.
We've been members for about 15 years. We play most Thursdays, and that particular Thursday, it was the monthly medal. As I went to play my second shot, this man came out on a mountain bike, and as I approached him, he stopped. I would say he was anything between 18 and 25, reasonably well built, but not fat. We didn't think anything about it because when I turned round, he'd gone back onto the footpath.
Later that afternoon, Suzanne was starting a 9-mile run.
I was training for the London Marathon. I like to do at least 2 hours a day training. I remember the time as I was going onto the golf course, as I was doing a particular session which I had to time, and it was just past 3 o'clock.
Hey, Sandra, there's that man I saw on the 5th.
We saw the same man again. He came out of a side footpath and stopped and stared at us and watched us play on.
Oh, good shot.
I heard a bike coming up from behind me, and I turned round and I saw a man approaching me very fast on a mountain bike. I immediately knew that something was going to happen, be it woman's intuition, whatever. He had both hands over my mouth very hard, and I just couldn't breathe at all. I felt I was being suffocated and I was going to die there and then. I really thought I was going to die. He eventually released his hands if I promised not to shout anymore and started to walk me over towards a wall. And at this point, he seemed concerned about his mountain bike. I tried then to make another escape, but he caught me and gave me a blow to the side of my head. And it went on from there.
Stephen Royal had been a member of the golf club for just 1 week.
I noticed the bike just lying on the ground, so I went over to have a look at it. I thought it was unusual for the bike to be there, and as I looked up, I saw a man staring at me from the other side of the bank. And then a lady appeared. I was stunned. I didn't really know what was going on.
I saw the golfer, it was as though it was a miracle, because there was nobody else around at all earlier on. It was as though he just appeared from heaven. And the man that had attacked me tried to retrieve his bike, but he ran off towards some trees and bushes. My life has been turned upside down. It won't ever be the same again. I've lost all my independence and my confidence, and I certainly won't be able to go out running again on my own. I have to rely on people to come with me. It happened in broad daylight, which makes it 10 times worse. Could have been a schoolgirl coming home from school if it had happened half an hour later. This man said to me he was a desperate man, and he's got to be caught before he does this or something worse to somebody else.
This is her attacker. He's between 20 and 30, around 5'9", with quite a solid build. His hair was very short, light brown, and he wore a blue bomber jacket with bleached jeans. And this is the bike he left behind. It's a Marin Muirwood's mountain bike, although the logo has been taken off. It's less than a year old and has a 20.5-inch frame, built for someone over 6 foot, although the seat has been adjusted to suit a smaller person. The accessories could have been added: the Mount Zefel luminous pump, the Shimano brake pads and the black Onza bar, which has insulating tape on the ends. If you recognise it or can identify the man, please call the incident room in Rochdale on 061 856 8550. That's 061, the code for Manchester, 856 8550.
A family weekend in Edinburgh turned to tragedy for 20-year-old Paul Sheldon. Paul was an art student and had gone out on Friday evening the 6th of February for a few drinks with his brother and a friend. In the early hours of Saturday morning, they were making their way home along White House Lane in the Bruntsfield area of the city when they were confronted by these two men. A scuffle broke out, and after a chase, Paul was stabbed to death. This is the man with the knife. He's between 18 and 20, about 5'9", with deep sunken eyes and possibly wearing a woolen ski hat, a sweatshirt and baggy jeans. The other man was a little older, 20 to 22, 6 foot, well built with black hair. If you recognise either of these men or can help in any way, you can call Lothian and Borders Police Headquarters in Fettes Avenue on 031 311 3535. That's 031, the code for Edinburgh, 311 3535.
Police in Dyfed-Powys need your help to find these youths who attacked and robbed 2 elderly sisters. At around 2 p.m. on Thursday the 4th of February, the men tricked their way into the sisters' home in the Swansea Valley. They took cash and jewellery before escaping on foot. 2 hours later, at around 4:15 in Ustradoin, 2.5 miles away, a taxi driver recalls taking the youth to Swansea town centre. Do you know where they went from here? This man's about 17, between 5'5" and 5'7", with short dark hair and an Irish accent. His accomplice is older, in his early 20s and about 6 foot tall. They left these items of clothing about 500 yards from the scene. A suede jacket which has Adler on the label inside. These 2 sweatshirts, one's a Smithy International and the other a Stamp Classics. And this pair of woolen gloves. If you